Hello, Hollywood Times viewers. Today we are joined by country music songwriter singer JD Shelburne. Hey JD, how you doing?
I'm good. Yourself? Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm great here in Southern California. Where are you dialing in from?
I am dialing in from Nashville, Tennessee, and a little cold outside today, but it's almost Thanksgiving, and looking forward to spending time with family and putting Christmas decorations up.
Oh my goodness. So is your family there locally or will you have to travel?
Actually, we're doing things different this year because of COVID. I have a newborn son, and so most of the time I'm from Kentucky, so usually every Thanksgiving and Christmas we go home to my hometown to my parents' farm. But this year we're hosting, so we're going to have my family down next week, and so we're kind of getting the house all cleaned up and getting some Christmas decor put out, and it's like half Thanksgiving, half Christmas in my house. It's crazy, but that's just the way we do it back home, and we're hosting this year, so looking forward to doing that.
No, I see besides all those guitars, I see a Christmas tree back there too, right?
Yeah, that tree is it's a pretty special tree. For the last 10 years, I've been collecting ornaments from fans all over the country. And each year fans send me ornaments from where they're from, or maybe pictures of, me and the fan in like a keepsake ornament. And that tree is full of ornaments. And actually, I just did a Facebook Live a couple days ago and decorated it for the fans on Facebook. So it's a fun tree and a lot of great memories on that tree.
Wow, I don't think I've ever heard a country artist say that before. Way to go. What a trendsetter. That's pretty awesome.
For
Thanks
sure.
For
I love
that.
I got great fans. I got great fans. They
like
started bringing me ornaments years ago, and I'm like, you know what? I'll tell you what, they're loyal. Very loyal.
And how great that they're that they make them for you. That's what's, like some might be homemade or bought or whatever. How special is that they thought of you?
Well, for sure. It's like it started several years ago, and fans started bringing me these ornaments at the show in like June and July. I'm like, what am I going to do with Christmas ornaments in June or July? So I just started setting them in a box kind of beside my garage. And when Christmas time rolled around, I had an extra tree, and I'm like, you know what? I should start collecting ornaments and putting them on the tree, and putting pictures on Facebook around the holidays, and just get fans kind of amped up to maybe send more ornaments. And it's actually helped. And so I've gotten ornaments from people in Nova Scotia.
Wow.
To my hometown and very, very far in between. It's been pretty amazing to see fans that love to send me ornaments and love to see the ornament on the tree when I post pictures. So it's kind of cool. It kind of gets people motivated, and I've got enough, and I've kind of graduated to a larger tree. It feels good.
Well, before we get going on some questions, I wanted to ask how it's your son. It's Zach Dylan, right? How's he doing? He's
Jack's
2 months
Dylan,
old now.
yes,
Your first child.
2 months. Yeah, he'll be 2 months just in a few days. He was born September 21st, and it's been the highlight of our life. And what a journey we've been on to trying to conceive and have a child. It's been a crazy journey, and so we've been very blessed this year to be given Jack Dylan. God works in mysterious ways, and it's been wild. Even though COVID hit, I lost over 70 shows. I've been able to spend more time at home and with my wife, and it's been kind of a blessing in disguise. And at the whole grand scheme of things, it's all about my son, and I've been able to spend more time with him. So I've been very grateful.
Yeah. How was that with COVID? Were you able to be there with your wife for your son's birth?
I was, there's been several doctor's appointments I didn't get to attend. I had to sit in the car, ultrasounds and things like that. And so it made me really nervous once we found out, the date we were gonna try to, he was gonna be born, and then he went early, and so we were kind of prepared for the worst. But I actually, of course, no visitors were allowed, but me, and so I actually got to stay in the hotel or in the hospital room the entire time. So that was very mind blowing. I couldn't believe, I actually got to watch my son be born right there in front of me, and I was very grateful that I could experience that. And leading up to his birth, dropping my wife off at appointments and not getting to go in and hear the news, and she'd have to FaceTime me. It got really frustrating. So I was very thankful that they allowed me to come in and be a part of it.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. That's what I wondered. I didn't know anyone had a baby during this year. I just wondered how that worked out. I'm glad that you got to be there and experience that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Thank God.
Well, my first question is, what was it like to be raised on a tobacco farm in Kentucky?
Well, I grew up in Kentucky. I grew up in a little town called Taylorsville. It's right outside Louisville, the home of the Derby. Just a small little quaint town, couple stoplights, and you kind of knew everybody. Everybody that that worked on the farm with me. We grew up playing sports together. We went to church together. We went to school together. And so some of my greatest memories of my whole childhood and my whole life have been that have taken place in my hometown. And so I still go back and visit quite often. My parents taught me hard work and dedication, and persistence always wins. And so when we weren't working on the tobacco farm in the summertime, we were out playing sports. I traveled a lot with baseball and basketball. That was in my blood. My parents all played. My brothers played. I played, and that's what we did. And then I moved off to college in 2001, and my grandmother passed away back home, came back for her funeral, and found a guitar in her house, and that's kind of where the next story starts. And so it's been a great journey from Kentucky.
So you still have your grandma's guitar?
I do. It's right behind me, actually. Yeah, I kept it. I almost sold it in college to get a bigger guitar because it was a junior size. It was a smaller guitar, and I wore that thing out in the house I lived in on campus. And once I felt like I was getting a little bit better, I wanted a full size guitar that I can actually plug into a PA system, because a lot of these places I was wanting to play open mics, they had everyone else had guitars that you could plug in and you could hear through the PA. Well, I didn't have that, and so I talked my parents into buying me a guitar at Christmas that year, and I almost sold that guitar to the rack behind me. I almost sold it, but I'm so thankful that I did not. And it just sits there and collects dust, and it's been the journey to Nashville, and the reason I started was that guitar that my grandma left behind.
Well, see, there is a reason, JD, that you didn't sell it, is because now you're going to pass it down to your son.
Exactly.
So you've got to save that for him.
Yes, for sure.
Wow. So when you picked up the guitar, did you teach yourself? Did you get some lessons? How did you learn to play a guitar?
Well, being in college as a student, I had a lot of free time. And, most of my classes were in the morning. I'd be done by 2:00, and from, 2:30 to midnight or later, I would just hang out with friends. I would go to the gym. I would, we'd just do whatever to pass the time. And when my grandma passed, I brought this guitar back to college and started it set my room on a stand for a while. I just thought it looked cool. I thought it was a great little wall ornament to hang. I love the way it looked. And the longer it set, the more I kind of became just like, I wonder if I could play that, and I just would sit and look at it. And then when I think it was Yahoo at the time was really super popular. I think it was brand new. Yahoo had just kind of come out, the big search engine,
Wow.
And you could actually type in your favorite songs and type in chords after the song, and it would tell you where to put your hands. And so I just started, each night sitting in front of the desk and trying to figure out how to play songs and my favorite songs and this, this and that. And so, once those things started, I just started beginning to learn more songs, and then along learning songs became my voice, and that just kind of came natural. And over the course of it's kind of started out as a hobby, and I just became more kind of something I never put down.
So you kind of what was the first song you wrote? Do you remember?
Oh gosh. I wrote several back in 2003 or 4. I don't think I can recall the very first one. I know my computer would remember it, but it was probably some terrible love song. I don't know.
Well, there you go. So who's been your biggest inspiration?
I have a lot of heroes in music that I grew up listening to. Garth Brooks, Alan Jackson. But my fans, man, I've been building fans since I first started picking up a guitar, and my fans have really inspired me to keep going, and they keep buying my albums, they keep coming to my shows. The more shows they come to, the more gigs I get, the more money I make, the bigger gigs I get, and it's like a domino effect. And just my fans I've been building fans for years, for over 10 years, and some of those fans still follow me, and they inspire me every day.
That's great. Well, is there any artist that you would like to write a song for them to record?
Yeah, for sure. I would love to see Tim McGraw or Kenny Chesney cut one of my songs. I've been listening to their records since I was a kid. Garth Brooks would be a dream come true. I mean, he was the first artist I remember, when he came out, late 80s, early 90s. That was really the first time, the Sony Walkman came out, the Discman. And it was the first record I had was the Rope in the Wind album. And if Garth cut one of my songs, that'd be a dream come true. Keith Urban, Chesney, McGraw, any of those guys would be pretty awesome. And I'm also on if we change genres, I love country, but I'm always I was a big rock fan, and I've been listening to Matchbox 20 since I was in middle school, and that'd be
Oh,
pretty
wow.
neat.
Yeah, great band. That's great. Wow. So what has been your
Oh, one of
favorite
my favorites.
memory? Yeah. What has been your favorite memory as a songwriter?
You cut out on me. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. What has been your favorite memory as a songwriter?
Oh gosh, I played. I've gotten to play many shows that have really have been like kind of a dream come true. You know, gosh, I've just done. I've played over almost 3,000 shows in my career, so you can imagine it's hard to really pinpoint one. But I will say, growing up in Taylorsville, I grew up in Louisville, and Louisville hosts the Kentucky State Fair, and it's one of the largest fairs in the country. And I used to play the beer tent outside in front of the stadium for 5 years in a row. When I first got started, I had a little band, and each year we built a bigger crowd. They would keep having us back, and in 2013 we got to play inside the actual stadium that we played in front of. And so to see that kind of come in full fruition of playing the tent and into the stadium because of the size of our the size of our fan base, and it was pretty neat. I got to open up for artists during Derby week at the infield of Churchill Downs. I've gotten to play Chicago White Sox game on the field. I've gotten to do a lot of really great things, a lot of really great gigs, and open for my heroes. And it's been pretty neat to see all that stuff kind of come true, and stuff I've chased for years finally happened.
Yeah, because I also read that you've done our national anthem, like for NASCAR, NBA, NCAA, basketball and baseball games. What is that like in those kind of venues and doing sports, since you like it, to sing that? What's that like?
Oh, it's definitely just and it's nerve wracking for sure. But it's one thing I tell people: when you get to do these things, you get the best seats in the house when it's done. You know, you're usually front row seats, you're backstage, you get free food. You know, they treat you like kings, and that's one thing kind of cool. So you try to get the best games, you know. But you know, getting to sing the anthem and "God Bless America" for NASCAR on national television was pretty cool. You know, the delay kickback is so crazy because it's like you want to try to just like not lose your spot, because it's really, even though, you know, people, you see online where people forget words, or it's so easy to forget words when you're singing because there's so many distractions, and there's like, you hear the kickback of the PA, it's like a 5-second delay sometimes, and it's just really tricky. And so, but I love doing those. It's an easy way to meet fans real quick. And I got to do the Final Four too as well. It was pretty neat.
Wow. Well, let's talk about your career as you were an opening act for a lot of artists out there. Of those artists, are there anyone out there that you'd like to do a duet with?
You know, back to, I mean, I've never opened for Chesney or McGraw. They'd be my two favorites. I've loved them. I love Alan Jackson. I've been a fan of his a long time. I would definitely love to duet with Garth, Tim, Kenny. I love Brooks and Dunn. And if I had to pick a female, I'd have to go the hottest female right now. Probably be Carrie Underwood. I mean, who would want to sing with her? You know, It'd be pretty awesome. And I've always been a fan of hers. I've always been a fan of Shania Twain as well.
Oh, love her.
And I always thought that, you know, she always, I remember when Billy Currington was in her video Party for Two years ago, and I thought that was the coolest. That really set his career on fire. And I thought it was pretty neat that she did that. And that'd be something I would love to do.
Great. We hope to see that, especially Shania Twain. She's amazing.
Oh,
good luck on that. Keep pushing that. That'll be great. Your first duet. What a partner. Wow. Well, let's talk about your latest single, Church, Pew, Bar Stool. Where'd that come from? That's an awesome song.
Well, thank you very much. My old neighbor, Mark Nessler, has written a bunch of hit songs, and I was in the process of working on a new record that's going to come out the first of next year. And he sent me a demo of a bunch of songs, and this song was kind of in the mix of them. And I heard this song, and I'm like, man, what a song that really stopped me in my tracks that I feel like fans could really relate to. Because when I listen to songs, I have to believe in the lyric before I sing it, but I also try to think on behalf of all my fans if they would relate to it. And I'm like, just the message and the lyric of the song. And the first thing I thought of was like, this could be an awesome video. And so I recorded a song from a new record. We went and shot the video, and the fans loved it, and it went #1 on CMT a couple months back. And so I don't know if you've seen the video yet, but we shot that in a little small church up in Franklin, Kentucky. And it's just been able to connect with a bunch of fans. It's been one of my most popular songs and videos of the recent past.
I really, really enjoyed the video. You know, I mean, it says here that it was debuted at #1 on the CMT 12-pack countdown and over 170,000 videos online. It's really, really good. It was done really well. I love the angles, the way it was shot. It was done. Who did that for you?
Stormlight Pictures. They're here in Nashville. They're doing my next video. They were just over the top professional. You know, they just went the extra mile. And one thing I like to tell people, the video, you may not know, but if you watch the video, you'll notice the sunlight coming through the stained glass when I'm sitting in the pews. Well, that sunlight was never there that day. That was actually a trick of the light. That was actually a light on a pole, and it was they had it shining through the stained glass for the shot. They set it up, and I'm like, that was just brilliant because it put shadows on the walls of the stained glass, and that's why you hire professionals, because they think of stuff like that. And you know, a lot of people I've talked were like, man, I can't believe you shot that video and had the sunlight coming through right where we were sitting. I'm like, that was all made.
No, me too. I was like, wow, that was perfect.
People didn't know, you know, and it's just like that. They were just, Stormlight was just so great, and I'll definitely use them again. I mean, I've used different companies for music videos. They've all been great, but Stormlight really stood out and really made this video come to life.
That's a great one. So your new album, Straight from Kentucky, that's a great title. Where'd that title come from? Is that on the CD?
Well, you know, I'm from Kentucky. I still sleep and eat and breathe Kentucky sports where I'm from. My fans back home, and the early part of the year here in 2020, the governor of Kentucky and the tourism department made me the cover of the tourism guide. And so if you go to Kentucky to any hotel room or rest area right now, you'll see the tourism guide on the table. I'm on the cover and the back cover. So when I found out I was getting all this, and last year I'd opened up for Tim McGraw at a Hometown Rising Festival, I wanted to debut a song about why I love the state. And so I wrote a song called Straight from Kentucky with another artist and a hit writer down here named Phil. And we put this out, and I just knew it had to be the title of the record. People resonated with it, with the whole tourism thing happening. You know, it was just everything kind of fell into place. And I said the record's got to be called Straight from Kentucky because that's where my roots are. And I had never had a record called that. So that's where the title came from.
Wow. See, we love those kind of stories. That's what it is with songwriters. It all comes from the heart. That's great. So it'll be out early next year?
Yeah, we were going to put it out this party or anything. And I really didn't want to just, you know, every 2 years I put out a record, I'd go back home to Taylorsville and do a huge free concert for the fans to celebrate the release. And I wanted to do that when I can, you know, schedule a show to go back and do this. And so hopefully 2021, April, looking at April 2021 right now. So we had to reschedule it from August. So that was a little heartbreaking, but the record's ready to go. But we're putting songs out once every couple months to kind of build momentum until we get there. So looking forward to next year.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to getting a copy of it soon.
Thank you so much.
So do you have another song out, Bottoms Up Sundown?
Yes, it's another song on the Kentucky record. It premiered Monday on American Songwriter magazine, and I recorded that song as well. Phil O'Donnell wrote that song, and with Brandon and Kenny, they both have had a lot of writing success. And I heard the song, and it just reminded me of of just a good old boy after a hard day's work, kicking back and having fun with his friends, and sitting around a bonfire and just cutting up and living life. And I heard this song. It was like an anthem to me and my friends and my fans. And so I tested it out at shows for about 2 months, and people started, you know, at meet and greet saying, man, I love that Bottoms Up song, man. That should be a name of your tour. It should be called the Bottoms Up Sundown Tour. I'm like, you know what? That's a great idea. That's a great title for a tour. And I cut the song and put it on my record. It's going to come out next year, but actually we did a release on Monday. And so it's been very well received, and I'm very thankful.
Wow. What's this Texas Roadhouse Artist of the Month? Is that the restaurant, the Texas Roadhouse restaurants? Yes.
I did a corporate event for Texas Roadhouse a while back, and they've been big fans of my music, and they made me Artist of the Month this past May. And so if you go to Texas Roadhouse across the country right now, you can play my song Straight from Kentucky in the jukebox. When you walk in the door, they play it throughout the restaurant, and it was a really good premiere. It was really big news. I've been a Texas Roadhouse fan for a long time, and to see my picture and hear my songs in the restaurant nationwide is a dream come true.
Wow. So how can our viewers get hold of any of your music?
So we're on all social platforms. We're on Spotify. We're on iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon. You can go to my website, jdshelburne.com. Spotify is JD Shelburne, all one word, pull you right up. And YouTube as well. So be sure to check us out. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And we sure would appreciate a few more fans. And that's your way.
Yeah, you can see your videos on YouTube, which is the best place to view them. That's great. Being here from California, I see something there on your, I guess it's maybe you're right, on the wall there. I see a jersey. Is that a Lakers jersey right there?
It is. It's a Shaquille O'Neal jersey signed.
Wow. Yeah. Look at that, folks. Oh, my gosh. She's getting into here in Los Angeles, our Lakers.
I know. Yeah, I've been a big Shaq fan for a long time. And of course, Kobe Bryant, that devastated me back in the first of the year.
It's horrible.
And what a horrifying story. And I've loved the Lakers, and I've loved Shaq since he came out with Orlando when I was a kid. But I got that not too long ago, and I was like, I've got to have a signed Shaq jersey. Who doesn't have a signed Shaq jersey? You know.
Some of us are jealous. Well, thanks for sharing that. That's great. So also wanted to find out with the upcoming holidays, Thanksgiving, you said you're going to be with the families coming down. What about Christmas? What's on your Christmas list? What are you asking Santa for this year?
Well, I recently went to the mall and checked out the Nike store. And I really have just passed it for months and years. I'd go in there every now and then, but I actually went in and kind of dug down deep in some shoes and some new shorts and pants and shirts. I'm like, man, I could spend all my Christmas list right here. And why not? I'm home all the time. I'm working out. I'm running. I'm lounging around on the couch. I don't dress up anymore because what's there to do? It's COVID. And so I'm like, you know what? I should just get Nike stuff. So I'm probably going to go to the Nike store and just order shorts. And my wife and my parents have been asking me for a while, like, what do you want for Christmas? And I'm like, go to Nike store, get me some shoes. I mean, literally, I got to show you these. So I bought these shoes right here.
Nice.
For $17.
No way.
At the Nike store.
Wow.
And so, yeah, they just have I guess it's just one of those shops in the mall that's, I can't think what kind of stores they call them, but
outlet, like an outlet
everything's
shop?
An outlet. Yeah, outlet. Thank you. Yeah, they everything was marked down like 75%. I'm like, for shoes? So, I mean, who's ever bought a pair of Nike tennis shoes for $17?
No, that's how much the shoelace costs.
So I'll spend my money there.
Great. So you're not asking for a new guitar, or is that the only instrument you play, JD?
Yeah, I would love to have a new guitar. I don't know. I guess I have to ask my wife if I've been good enough. I don't know. Good boy, I guess. But yeah, I'd love to have a new. I mean, I can always, I got room for more guitars in there for sure. But other than that, I like clothes and stuff, and a lot of people get me gift cards. I love gift cards.
Yeah.
And that works for me.
What is Santa bringing for Jax?
We were talking about that earlier. My wife wants to get him like a custom chair, like a small recliner with his name embroidered in like on the headrest. So we thought that'd be kind of cute. And so we'll probably get him some more clothes. I love buying him shoes. He has like a bunch of little shoes and like little suede shoes. He's got he's going to get a pair of Jordans, and he's just got so many my wife bought him I wear a lot of blue jean jackets, and so my wife bought him a blue jean jacket that's got black sleeves, and so I have the same one, and it's got a hood on the back and just stuff like that because I love dressing this kid up. He's got his own Instagram. It's @BabyShelburne.
Oh my goodness, @BabyShelburne. Check it out, everyone.
You got to check it out. He's got his own Instagram, and he talks in first. It's him. It's like him running his own Instagram. It's great. So anybody sends him. If people send him gifts, I put pictures of him on there thanking the fans and pictures of him every day. And so it's his everyday life. It's pretty neat. So check it out.
Oh, that's great. Wow. Well, let's talk a little bit about your charities. You do a lot of charities for St. Jude's Children's Hospital, Blessings in a Backpack, and of course, Susan Komen. What is Blessings in a Backpack? So basically,
I've done stuff for them every couple of years. Well, actually every year through the Derby. I go to a gala that helps those. Basically, it's kids. Basically, this company or this foundation buys backpacks and fills these backpacks with food for needy kids. And so each kid gets a backpack full of canned goods, any kind of non-perishable items, and kids they're distributed all over the world. And so it's pretty neat to see this. I first learned about it about 5 years ago when I started going to a Kentucky Derby gala back home, And I've gone to this gala the last few years, and that's one of their prime people that they donate to is Blessings in a Backpack. So it's a very neat concept. So basically they just take a backpack a kid would wear to school and just fill it with all sorts of non-perishable items and canned goods and toothbrush, toothpaste, anything like that kids need. And those are shipped out to needy children all over the country.
Oh, wow. Neat. That sounds great. I have to look that one up and put some of the websites for them on the article. Well, thank you for sharing that. Do you have any other last words for us today?
Just check out my songs. My new songs, Bottoms Up Sundowns, on Spotify. It's on iTunes, Apple Music. Check it out. We're going to be shooting a video for it next week. And Church Pew as well. Church Pew Bar Stool's on my new record. It's out already, and the video's out. And just encourage you to check my videos out and like my fan page. I do Facebook Lives a lot. I give away gift cards. I give away fan merchandise. I give away all sorts of just random stuff. And so it's all about fans and just keeping them in the loop through COVID and waiting until this thing blows over and we can get back out to touring and all that good stuff. So until then, just keep in touch, and thank you for your time.
Great. We thank you for that. And we'll make sure all of our viewers get to know about your Facebook, and maybe they can send you some ornaments this year. You'll get millions of them now.
That'd be great.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, taking the time, and we'll talk with you soon.
Yeah.